Are we recording? Alright, so this is the end goal of what we will do. Alright, so I'm sure you saw the animations that we just played weren't F-Seekers, and they were MVs. So this is what we're used to, and this is what I've done. The way we can do that is by right-clicking on animation, create compatible data, and then if you're familiar with MV, this is what you will see. And you can choose an animation, and I'm sure for most of you, we won't have animations here. What you would do is you would go to your project data, and you would be able, you can have MV stuff. You could just transfer it out over. That's what I've done. Or anything that you have, I've made my own here. It's stuff like that. So we are going to pretty much, I'm going to choose mine. I've already created my little animation here, and you want to choose your animation. I've already done 15 sprites for my SV character that I've created, and for context, this is the SV that he has. As you notice, those animations don't share any with these. These are completely different ones. So the goal here is to create an animation for our characters, and we've done that. Cool. We've done two things now. First things first, you want to decide how many frames you want. I've decided on 16, and each frame that I can do, you click here, you click that, right? You see that animation. You can edit it. You can change the blend mode, do all kinds of things, change their X, Y, so on and so forth. And I've done that with this character. And frame by frame, what I've done is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to show you, right? So I'm going to just go 1. And what I would do is, this is the character I have. So I'm going to copy, paste, right click on this guy. I'm going to go +1. Boom. Now it's just another frame, right? So it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, right? We do that a tedious amount of times, and we get this. Cool. So I'm sure you notice this is something I mentioned. Whenever you're playing animation like this on the character, which we'll talk about in a second, you can hide the character, the target in this specific case. And now we're going to go to common events. Now you can show the animation onto the character, which you can do regularly with these RPG makers, regular. I've used Battle Core because, again, it's free, it's online, it's great. And you can then play in the animation. As you can see, this is mirror, right? So for those who are just playing animation with this regularly, you'll have to take in account to create it the opposite way, so which, again, tedious. So moving forward, we are going to also look at the second animation I've created, which is this one. This one, right? So we're going to go back on that in a second. If I look at this is also 16 frames. In the sequence that this is not 16 frames, I believe this is actually 11. Yep. Oh no, it's 12. It's 12 frames, right? The sequence of this is 12 frames. Yeah, 11 frames. Right, I'm gonna change that. Boom. Right. By the way, there's no hide animation here. We're gonna play that one more time, and you'll notice something very different here. See that? Well, that's not what we want. The trick for this is matching the frames that we have with the other. And how I was confident to delete them is because there's nothing here. This is just a timing sequence, right? And what you would do, you will, this is the first animation with the source. This is the one that hides the target. I didn't wait for animations because I'm I want to be very precise on how I want to change that. So that's 16 frames here. Boom. So on and so forth. Action effect, so on and so forth. And action animation, we're going to go to that right now. So we're going to go to the skill. You can do whatever skill you want. Doesn't matter what you want to do. But the thing that needs to happen is we need to make sure this skill is a common event, right? That's what you would do if you weren't using plugins. I am using plugins. So if I do this, it'll just play twice. If again, regular RPG Maker, that's how the code would look like. It would just be a regular common event, right? And the last thing you want to do is to make sure the character, right, has a skill. So the skill is here. The skill runs this. Common key kind of uses this shortcut, so everything has the accurate common event, right? Once you do that, you're set to go. You could just start doing your thing. And again, I fixed the animation timing, right? So it should play out just fine. And that's how you do custom animations. You follow the same logic. So remember what I said earlier, so because of the common event, he did it twice. So it just repeats itself, right? And you the theory, right? You can use this on an enemy, and they'll have elaborate moves, more than 15 frames, whatever you need it to. You can always just expand the template. You can find it online. It's really easy. Just RPG Maker MZ Animation template. You go off that, make sure all the characters are the same. I would suggest using feet for characters, because that's where it spawns from. You can set the size to whatever you want. Just make sure you resize it properly so that they're all even. And there's a lot of things you can do with it: blending, scale, switching, so on and so forth. That's it. Good luck.